days of training camp are any indication, DeVonta Smith is going to destroy everybody this year. Dallas still stinks. But the way kick dig back here. So day 2 is in the books, and a few things have become clear. One, the defense is obviously ahead of the offense, and that is to be expected. But number 2, DeVonta Smith looks like he's about to have a monster year because he's all over the field right now, and nobody can stop him. And if that's what we can expect from him this year, it's going to be wild. I actually think there's a lot of positivity and a lot of positive things going on with this offense, even though they did struggle against this defense, which is a given. It's a brand new offense. But before we get into all that, I do want to talk about the injury report. I do want to talk about Jonathan Greenard, because really the only significant injury going into practice is Jonathan Greenard. And yesterday, based upon what we had heard, I felt pretty comfortable with what was said, that he had a strain and he should be good to go at some point soon. Don't worry about it. Now we're finding out it may be a little more serious than that. Do I think we should be panicking? No, not at all. But we do have to consider maybe being a little bit concerned. However, this is the perfect moment for a guy like Nolan Smith to rise up. Brandon Lee Gouton wrote this. Vic Fangio said that Jonathan Greenard is going to miss a good amount of Eagles training camp. Adds, Greenard is going to do things that he hasn't been asked to do before. So it's not ideal that he's missing time. And that really is the problem with Greenard missing time. He's a veteran. He could get back from the injury pretty quickly, but he is being asked to do things he hasn't had to do before. And how much is this going to put him behind the 8 ball? How quickly can he catch up to what the Eagles are doing? That's going to be the question. However, a guy like Nolan Smith, like I said, he now gets an opportunity to sit there and really establish himself. What about Epinenza? He gets another chance to make an impact, because with Greenard out, these guys, they have the ability to actually take advantage of the situation. And I really, really want to see stuff from Nolan Smith, okay? I really do. Some of the other things that Vic Fangio talked about during the press conference, Zach BAUN will be the Eagles' full-time defensive signal caller. Not a surprise. Now, one of the funny things that I thought Vic Fangio said today was when discussing Moro Ojomo and the fact that Jalen Carter just got paid, he said Howie needs to save money for him too, meaning Moro Ojomo. So he's already telling Howie, we need Moro Ojomo here, man. You got to sign him. I think it's going to be very hard for the Eagles to do that, because I expect him to get a big payday after this year, because he's a stud, dude. He is good. No question about it. And speaking of good, check this out. PrizePicks is America's #1 sportsbook app. It is the best app to use while watching sports. Plus, the great thing about it, it is really easy to use. Just pick a few player stats and lock in your lineup, and boom, you're ready to go. Or if you prefer, you can now do Team Picks. Now, Team Picks is great. It opens up a ton of options, including picking wins, spreads, all sorts of things, as I'm going to show you in a second. Plus, PrizePicks is available in almost all 50 states, including California, Texas, and Florida. Now, as I was saying, when you look at the team picks, they often have a bunch of different options to choose from. One of the ones that I want to touch on today is the stage of elimination for football teams this coming season, specifically the Cowboys. Why? Because this is, to me, easy guarantee, okay? This is easy. that I have the Dallas Cowboys. I am taking them to not make the playoffs. That's right. I am taking the Cowboys to not make the playoffs. I'm locking in that lineup, and boom, it is ready to go. I love this play. I think this is a great guarantee. And if you like this or you want to do something similar, all you have to do is download the link in the description, download the app, and then use promo code HMA when you sign up. And if you play your first $5 lineup and you win, you'll get $150 in lineup credits. That's $150 in lineup credits. All you have to do is play your first $5 lineup and win. That's right. Just use promo code HMA. Link is in the description. Shout out to Prize Picks. All right, shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's video. We appreciate it so much. And like I said, Greenard was only really the only significant injury or the guy on the injury report going into practice today. Now, we did have an injury, and we'll have to see how that goes. But Cameron Williams was slow to get up after a play. It looked like they were going to take the card out for him, but he wound up walking to the tent and then eventually going inside. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. But when you look at practice and you look at what went on, what we really saw is, and I think it's expected, a defense, a very good defense, that is ahead of the offense right now. The defense, basically this practice and the drill started with Jalen Hurts getting sacked by Jordan Davis. I think it was Elliott Shore Park. Somebody said that there could have been 8 to 9 sacks in today's practice by the defense. Now, that's a little bit ridiculous because there are no pads, and I think it's very, very hard to judge. But the defensive line as a whole was really dominating today, and that's just the way it was. Now, the first 2 days of practice, we have heard a lot from DeVonta Smith. DeVonta Smith made a lot of plays, a lot of catches yesterday, and he came back and he had another big day, okay? DeVonta Smith, back-to-back catches. First was over the middle for 15 yards. Second was a leaping grab along the sideline. Both were against Quinyon Mitchell. Now, Hurts actually underthrew him later in the practice where he had, it was like a 50-yard bomb. DeVonta was open, had steps, but Hurts actually underthrew it. So he could have had that as well. The play of the day, the catch of the day. Yesterday was Darius Cooper. Today was Wicks. Hurts with an awesome throw was under center, rolled to his left, and this is what happened on the play today. So Hurts under center, rolled to his left, kept his eyes downfield, and hit Wicks on a 50-50 ball, 30 to 40 yards downfield. Great catch by Wicks to come down with it with the two defenders. So Dontavian Wicks with the play of the day, the catch of the day. Hurts put it up for him, and Hurts is really good at that. Hurts is really good at throwing up, those 50-50 balls, deep ball. Look, Hurts is the best deep ball thrower in the National Football League. People don't want to give him credit for it, but it's true. And the statistics that they always like to point out, that tells us that's exactly the case. Now, Dontavian Wicks, great catch. Hurts with the big throw. And what I loved about the play, and what I like most about it, is we're seeing Hurts line up under center a lot more, and they're rolling him out. I mean, how many times did we talk about, man, can you just roll the guy out? And they actually rolled him. He was under center on that play today, and he rolled to his left. I love it. I think if you start using Hurts like that, he's going to have a big year. I'm telling you, if the Eagles start taking advantage of the short passing game, which I believe Hurts is fully capable of doing, this offense is going to be really, really good. So even though that the offense struggled against this defense, there were still big plays that they did make, some plays that they missed, and that was the way it is. Cole Payton, we call him Cold Payton today, had a great day yesterday. The developmental quarterback came back Bad day today. He had 3 interceptions, but, look, he's developing. What are you going to expect, Hurts also hit Goddard on some nice passes down the middle of the field. And I like the fact that they're utilizing the middle of the field. It's really, really awesome. And then, of course, Elliott Shore-Parks, he loves to give his grades out, right? I always think this is just hilarious, right? But day 2, he gave Jalen Hurts the grade of a C. Hurts, 11 of 15, 0 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, and he got a C grade. And he said that Hurts made a decent throw on that play of the day when he gave the grade out. But earlier, when the play happened, he said it was an awesome throw. So it's funny how they always kind of change up what they said, but I always like to go with the initial reaction because I think that's the most honest. Overall, I think what we're seeing from the Eagles so far is an offense that has a lot to learn, has a lot to do, and they need reps. And my big plea with Nick Sirianni is play these guys in preseason. I know he loves to have joint practices and go out there and say that those joint practices, that's where, they get all their reps, and that's more important than the preseason game. But I say take advantage of both. Take advantage of the joint practices. You do everything you're going to do, but come back on game night for preseason and give them reps. They need reps. Hurts needs reps. These guys need reps. I should also say Tank Bigsby had a decent practice as well. He broke off a few big runs, and he is also getting first-team reps at running back. And that's not surprising because you're going to rotate your running backs in and out. You would want to do that. I would really like to see the Eagles go out and try to actually use 2 running backs in the backfield. I think that would be very cool if they could do that or utilize. But overall, a decent day for the Eagles. And we're going to have to see with the Greenard situation. They will be having a closed walkthrough. Let me thank everybody that joined me on my live stream earlier today. It was a lot of fun. I really appreciate you guys. But there is no live stream tomorrow unless we do something separate because it's a closed practice walkthrough. So no media is going to be there. And then we'll be back 10 a.m. Eastern on Saturday. And then, of course, Shakedown Saturday night. So we are going to be busy. We are fully running right now, baby. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how I vision, baby. We're all just living in it. Hey, parents, real quick. What's the one money lesson you wish you learned earlier that you're trying to pass down to your kids? For all of the parents out there with teenagers, we already know you're trying to keep a million different things under control. Believe me, I got 2 teenagers myself. It's tough. Well, guess what? CashApp is here to help. Make sure your teen's money and their spending isn't adding to the craziness. With CashApp card available to teens 13 to 17 with a sponsorship by an eligible parent or a guardian, every transaction triggers a real-time notification for you to see, empowering your teen to practice independence while giving you a peace of mind by keeping track of their spending. You can also manage everything from your own Cash App account without having to switch between the two. It's beautiful. It makes it simple to stay connected to your teen's financial activity in a way that's both efficient and empowering. Now finally, no one, and I mean no one, wants unnecessary surprises. With Cash App, there are no monthly fees, no minimum balance requirements, and no hidden charges when sending or receiving money. With the Cash App card, you and your teen's balances receive 24/7 fraud monitoring, and if the card ever gets lost, you have the ability to lock their card right from your phone in just one tap. New Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use code FAMILY10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. That's FAMILY10 in the profile and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. CashApp is a financial service platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by CashApp's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. CashApp Visa debit flex cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC, and the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to a license from Visa USA Incorporated. See terms and conditions for Sutton prepaid cards, Sutton debit flex cards, and Bancorp debit flex cards. Savings provided by CashApp, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures. Let me tell you, Eagles fans, something. Many Cowboy fans look at Christian Parker and they say, he made Quinyon Mitchell. He made Cooper DeJean. Those guys wouldn't be anything without him. Now that he's on the Dallas Cowboys, he is going to establish a Quinyon Mitchell and a Cooper DeJean. So look for that. We'll see if that happens. But forget that those guys actually have talent. They think that they're the reason, that their coach is the reason why our guys are any good. And now that our guys don't have Christian Parker, guess what? They're going to stink this year. Quinyon's going to start stinking. Cooper's going to stink because Christian Parker is gone. These people live in la-la land. Christian Parker, good coach. No question about it. However, you need to have talent all around your team. You have to have talent to win. I'm sorry. And that Cowboys defense has no talent, which is why I say they're not making the playoffs. Denzel Washington out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.